I'm just, wow, bearing all right now. This is deep. Do I want to do this? Like, shoot. Welcome back to another video. This week is so special. I will be celebrating a birthday next Sunday. So this is my pre-weekend birthday video. Thanks for tuning in. Big thank you to my consistent viewers. I'm so grateful for you guys. Y'all that be sending me pictures of my YouTube videos and text messages and reposting. You guys don't know how much that means to me. That's like the best birthday present I could ask for. So thank you so very much for doing that. Today's topic of conversation will be what I learned from my 20s. Man, my 20s were rough. If I really just sit and reflect about them, dang, a lot happened. Buckle up. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. First and foremost, I'll say I'm truly grateful for all of the hardships that I experienced, because I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through all of that BS. Life's BS, man. I learned so much about myself, who I am as a woman, and I learned about what I'm made of. You know what I'm saying? You learn what you're made of when the pressure is on. The first thing that I learned from my 20s is to cherish each and every day, because tomorrow isn't promised. And I know we all know that life is but a vapor, but sometimes you get caught up in that everyday rhythm and cycle and you forget how transient life really is. I had some major losses in my 20s. I lost my mom when I was 24, and I lost a boyfriend when I was 29. Shortly after, I lost my sweet schnauzer that I got to help me through my mom's passing. I also lost a child. My ex-husband and I were expecting, and I miscarried, and I literally gave birth and lost my firstborn child. So I just had a lot of loss, y'all. A lot of loss. That's a lot, man. That is a lot for a person. I'm okay if you're worried. I've gone through some counseling for sure, and I've just taken a lot of time to myself. But in losing so much, it taught me the value of time and to speak up and say what it is that's on your heart that you want to say to somebody, because you never know if you're not going to get that opportunity. I held on to a lot of things that I wanted to say to my boyfriend who passed, and I had to deal with the regret of not saying it and having to just know that he knew. That's hard. So I learned from that point to communicate. So this is kind of a vulnerable video for me. Yeah, I don't even know. This is not as easy as I thought it was gonna be to spit out. Pause. Thing two that I learned in my 20s is how to listen to and trust my instincts. Y'all, this is a big one. Trust your gut instinct. It is God-given. When you have that little tiny twinge of, is this a good idea? Typically, that is like the Holy Spirit telling you that it's not. So listen to that. I learned firsthand to know exactly what that sounds like and listen to it, because relationships in my 20s, I found myself engaged at 21 years old, and I was about to be married to somebody that I really was not in love with, because I got myself into quite a pickle. And 2 months before the wedding, I decided that I would have to break things off, because it would be best, because I was not gonna do well in that marriage. And I feel so terrible because I really hurt somebody in the process of that. But from the jump, my gut told me to chill. Oh, hold on. Yes, and listening to those instincts, man, so much of that could have been avoided, man. Like, I could have not hurt somebody the way that I did. And I could have also, not wasted my time on trying to figure out what I was doing. Like, I needed to just be honest with myself from the jump and not try to find out, the hard way or figure out what if. Stop the what ifs. Listen to that gut instinct and just go with that. Just go with that. It's better that way. Thing number 3 that I learned is that I have something to say and what I have to say matters. Oftentimes, I found myself second guessing or doubting what it is that I had to say, and that comes from traumas in abusive relationships where people don't value your voice. And my voice, as I spoke about in my previous video, got silenced, man. So it made me think that what I had to say didn't matter. And I'm learning, nah, man, I got something to say and I'ma say it. I'ma say it right now. So sometimes like I get into this mode where I'm just like, I have to say something. And it gets like super serious and somber. And I'm like, I just need to say that blah, 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 blah. And it just like totally kills the whole mood, but at least I said it. That is a major tip, and pretty much my whole last video is about exactly that. That was a big one for me. Thing 4 I learned was what I can tolerate and what I cannot tolerate. I learned my limits, man. I learned my limits. My limits were pushed. At 23 years old, I got married. And I absolutely adored my ex-husband, and I had no boundaries, no limits in that relationship whatsoever because I loved him. I didn't care. I didn't ask questions. I just went with it. I just trusted, and I just gave my absolute everything to that relationship. After a while, my passion turned to rage because I was so sick and tired of being lied to and finding out little things here and there and seeing text messages pop up from other women and then trying to make sense of the stories I was being told, and then finding out that there was a baby that was born, and then trying to do the math and figure out when she was actually conceived. A lot. I'm just, wow, bearing all right now. This is deep. Do I want to do this? Like, shoot, that's a lot. The sun is setting, so please forgive my crazy changing light. As I was saying, I lost my ever-living mind in that marriage, man. I had to do a lot of apologizing for my rage. Every woman has a breaking point, yo. Carrie Hilson said it best. Every woman has a breaking point, and y'all, I found mine. I found my boiling point, my breaking point, all the points, okay? So now, coming out of that, I learned just right up front what I can't tolerate that. And I just know, like, oh, you X, Y, and Z? I know what I can tolerate and what I can't handle. And I'm stick to it, because it doesn't work out for anybody when you don't do it that way. Then you find yourself having to change your name at the Social Security office and start your life all over again. And I ain't doing that again. Ain't doing it. The next thing that I learned is that people who are jealous of you will do everything they can to try to tear you down. And it's because they see the greatness in you, and they have bitterness toward themselves. Point blank, period. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. It has everything to do with them. Nobody's gonna just come out and say, I'm jealous of you. Facts are facts, and people treat you a certain way when they covet or want something that you have. And I also learned that the people who hate your confidence the most, they watch you the hardest. So you might as well give them a show. Yeah. Is that everything I have to say? You might be the target, but remember, their choices have nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own lack of self-esteem. And it feels great. So, quick little recap. 5 things that I learned in my 20s. 1, cherish each and every day. Give gratitude in each moment because tomorrow is not promised, y'all. I really mean that one. Number 2, how to listen to and trust your God-given instinct. Listen to that joint because it won't lie. It don't be lying. Thing number 3, I didn't say this point, but I'm gonna say it right now. Love ain't enough. Love is a choice. You have to constantly choose love every day. You can't just be like, oh, I love him, it's all gonna work out. No, that person has to also choose to love you. And that choice has to be even in the most tempting, toughest situation. I'm so sick of this thing cutting out because of heat. I also learned what I can and cannot tolerate. I learned that people will be jealous of you. Don't let them stop your will to keep going. Don't let them lower or dampen your own light and your self-esteem because they have issues with their own. Thank you so much for watching. Get ready because I'm gonna be doing my first giveaway and it's going to be announced on my birthday. I'm gonna be giving away one of my favorite things from my Amazon video earlier this month, or maybe it was in January. I don't know because I be posting consistently. Leave the comment on where you want my next vlog to be. I just did Playa del Carmen and I am getting a little travel bug, like itch, and I'm just trying to like kind of scope out my options. Cape Town is high on my list. Do you guys want to see a Cape Town vlog? I would love to do it for you. Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Okay, bye. See you next week.
I'm feeling myself. Feeling myself. Face on numb. Face on numb.